Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Factory Samurai Edition. See, it's here on the box. Gokugao, I think I'm saying that right. I could be wrong, I don't know. But basically, this is their take on a samurai-styled Beast Wars Megatron. And I gotta say, the aesthetic for this guy is really cool. I missed out on their Grimlock, and I'm hoping at some point I'll still be able to get my hands on it. But a lot of these samurai style figures that they've made look really cool, and I'd like to get more of them. But we'll start with a quick look at the box. Not too much going on with it. We do get the name and logo and stuff here on the front. He does sit here with his face right here in the box. And then on the top, just the sticker, just the logo, IFEX77, Iron Factory, legal jargon, same thing on that side. And then we do get some product shots on the back. And that's it for the box. And here we have the lovely I should probably stand you back up, huh? Lovely instruction booklet. So there is that. And they do have a QR code, which I think is for like video instructions, but I'm glad that they still included physical instructions, because that is something that bugs me a lot. Like, do video instructions if you want, but still give me a physical copy. Anyway, there is that. And we'll take a quick look here at the figure. And yeah, just so much cool detail on this guy. You know, he's obviously got some armor stylized to look a bit more samurai. He's got the spiky shoulders. He still has his, traditional teeth around his collar. I love the little golden lines that they put on his skirts and on his chest. And they're not on his thighs like normal, but they did include his little cannons there, which is cool. Obviously, he's got the big T-Rex head for his hand, and it's got a whole samurai helmet. He's got a spiked tail. He's still got his tail arm as well. And yeah, he's just got so much personality in this. And I am absolutely in love with this head sculpt. I don't know how well it's coming across. I don't know if I can get it to focus or anything. But I don't know how I could see that, but he has just the most malicious grin across his face. Like, he literally, it's that perfect, like, I'm gonna make your life worse every day for the rest of both of our lives kind of grin. It's got so much personality in it. I love it. Coming around to the back, he does have some kibble / skirt armor here. And of course, he still has the backpack. I mean, it's a Beast Wars figure. There's going to be some kibble. But overall, he is a really great figure. I absolutely love what they've done with this. So, let's do a couple of comparisons. So, first of all, here he is with a standard deluxe in Prowl. Get you a little closer. You can see he's... Would you behave yourself? He is around deluxe scale for official. I mean, he's listed as a legend scale because, he is pretty big, so there's that. Here he is next to another third-party Megatron that came out like right around the same time in the Laser Cat Toys Chibi one. So look forward to that review in the future. And for one more robot mode, here he is next to the Kingdom Leader Class Megatron. So you can see how he compares to an official counterpart. And just one more. We do gotta get come here. Trying to keep too many things around the table. You just gotta get him in there with the OG Megatron. So there's that. Anywho, let's go over his articulation real quick. So for the head, we do get a very nice expressive ball joint. Plenty of movement there. The shoulder pauldrons can move up and down. They are also on a hinge, so you can move those around. His shoulders are on ball joints, so you do get plenty of movement there. Full 360 rotation, as long as you account for the backpack kibble. He does have a bicep swivel. He does actually have double jointed elbows, so you get a very nice full bend there. Does have a ball jointed hand on the tail side. No additional hands or anything. I'm pretty sure he didn't come with any additional accessories. Hey, Future Soul here. Turns out he does have some alternate hands that I had forgotten about. They were in the box, but yeah, he does have 3 hands. He's got an open hand, an open fist, and then like sort of a cupped grabby hand. He doesn't have anything to hold with him, so that's probably why I forgot about him. These are the only additional parts that come with him, but I did want to mention that. Anyway, and then you can move the tail pincer or whatever it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's usually like a crab claw almost. But yeah, you do get some movement, the hinges and whatnot here, so you do get some posability with that, and plenty of movement there. Then for the dinosaur head, you get that same double jointed elbow. The dinosaur head is on a ball joint, and obviously the mouth opens and closes. So there is that. You actually get a ab crunch because of the transformation, so that's cool. You get a 360 at the waist. The hip skirts are on ball joints and hinges, and then this is also on a hinge, so there's that. And back here, this is on a series of arms, though they're kind of supposed to stay locked in for this mode, but you do have some options for what you can do there. The legs can kick about that far forward before they collide with the skirts, and this came unplugged because of it. Not very far back, in fact that's as far back as it goes. We do have a very deep knee bend past 90 degrees, partially because of the joints for the T-Rex mode, but there is that. We do get some forward and back at the ankle, and we also get our ankle pivot, and if you want, the heel pieces can move a bit. So yeah, plenty of expressioning movement there. Very neat, very cool. I definitely dig this guy, as I've said. And yeah, the aesthetics on this guy are just so cool. Let's see, is there anything else to mention in the robot mode? I don't think so, so I think we can go ahead and move on to the transformation. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to come back here and just untab the backpack, and then we are also going to come up here and untab his chest piece, and we are going to bring his arms. You kind of want to angle these armor pieces up a little bit, and you just kind of want to get his arms up a little bit, because then we are going to turn the torso around, and then we want to, so there's 3 sections. There's the bottom, there's the like abs, and then like the top of the torso is separate. So we want to turn it so that this backpack is facing forward, and then we want to turn this whole assembly again so that it's lined up for the dinosaur mode. And we just kind of want to move these things around a little bit. We do want to turn his chest piece to face teeth towards the tail, and then that's going to let us fold his head backwards like so. Then we're just going to sort of bring this up, and while we're at it, you want to make sure that the elbow on the dinosaur head side is facing down, so like so. because that'll give him some neck movement in the dyno mode. Alright, now we want to come here and untab these hip skirts and untab that, and then we're going to bring these down on these armatures, and we are going to bring this whole assembly back on that ab crunch joint, and then we're going to bring, and you want to make sure it goes all the way up. It should be sitting at 90 degrees. And we want to wiggle these joints around so that these skirts are facing forward. And just to make sure, you want to make sure that the pieces, the joints here, they're on double hinges. You want to make sure that they fold over on each other facing forward towards the head. So there's that. Now we do want to come under here, and this piece is going to flip up like so, and then just go to bring these legs down out of the way. Now we're going to work on all this. So first we want to bring these smaller pieces up, and they're going to sort of cover up these sections of his arm like so. Then we do want to bring these pieces with his dyno arms. They're on a hinge and a ball joint, so you want to swing it around like so. You want to swing it around like so and just sort of bring it up, try and make it a little bit flush with his body. And then this piece right here is on a ball joint, and you want to flip it around. And for some reason, sometimes it's like super smooth, and sometimes it like really gets caught on like everything, like right now. Come on. Dang it. Yep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Probably should have just put that on the other way. But yeah, you want to flip it around because that's going to form like his belly. So yeah, and then we just want to get these nice and snug in there. Actually, then we want to bring these pieces here. Oh, I did that wrong. You want to make sure they're folded around the back. That's my bad. So, because you want this still. There is a tab and a slot, so you want to make sure that the armatures are backwards, facing back. And sometimes it can take a little fiddling to get these in there, but and then there's also a tab slot connection here with his chest piece. So make sure we get that in there. And we can squeeze this up in here. Get that in there. And we want to do the same on this side. Make sure that that arm is back. Bring this forward. Tab it into his chest. Bring this up and tab that together. There is basically the front of his dyno body. Then we're just going to sort of bring these hip skirts here to the side, and then we're going to work on his tail region. And you sort of want to make sure that this armor piece just kind of sits, it doesn't tab in, but it just sort of like fits along the grooves of his neck, or collar piece rather. So we want to make sure that this arm is straightened out, and then we want to bring this down on its hinge so it sits flush. And we are going to, actually let's wiggle these around. Come on. Here, when you come down here, you'll see that there are two posts, one on each side right here, a little post. And those are both going to tap into this piece here. And I might have that in the wrong position. I don't think I do. Yeah, no, there we go. So you want to make sure, and I find that sometimes like this will just like kind of pop off, but honestly it's not too big of a deal. But this is the proper way to do it. So this is probably the one part that doesn't really ever cooperate. There are a couple other parts that sometimes give you trouble here and there, but for the most part he doesn't fight you too much. Then we are going to make sure that's flush. Then we bring this down, and these two pieces have created a big tab that will go into this big hole right here. So we just fold that under, and there we go. Then we can bring the tips of the tail together and tab it together like so. And then we want to bring this whole section right here down, and you can see there's a little teeny tiny tab here, and that's actually going to go underneath this armor piece. So we want to make sure that we sort of wiggle that under. Come on. Come on. Come on. Getting locked in everywhere but where you're supposed to be. There we go. Just bring that. Oh, now you don't want to go in either, huh? Ow. The spike got me. Anyway, there, that's all tabbed in. And just squeeze these together. And then as for the skirts, we want to bring them around and they will tab on here and here. So, and you do want to make sure that this is sitting back a bit so that it'll line up. And then you can just kind of bring these off to the side. Do the same over here. Bring this over. And then tab it in. Come on. There we go. Bring this up. Now we want to bring his legs. They're on a side hinge. And bring these out to the side like so. Then we can just cover up that little gap there with the hip skirts. And then fold these back, fold these over, and just sort of give them that typical T-Rex pose. And then bring that little heel piece up like so. And we just do the same with the other side. And then just pose the little T-Rex arms however you fancy. And this came untabbed. And there we have him in his Samurai T-Rex mode. And there it is. And yeah, it looks good. I like it. I dig it. And again, for the most part, there's not too much to go over as far as articulation here. The only real new thing is the T-Rex arms are on a ball joint, a hinge, and a hinge. The legs are still the same legs, so all the same articulation there. Just has that side hinge to bring them out to the T-Rex standard. The tail, no real movement, it's all locked in. Again, the head is on a ball joint, and you do get a little bit of neck movement out of that elbow joint. So there's that. Funny little thing, actually, is this helmet is actually just tabbed on. So if you want to remove it, you can. And the only thing that comes to mind is that scene from the SpongeBob movie where they're all shouting, "Bald! Bald!" But yeah, it just tabs on top of his head, and he just looks ridiculous. Yeah, he goes from an evil warlord to just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, if you don't want that to come off, you could glue it. But yeah, it stays on fine. I just accidentally bumped it off one day, and it's just so silly. It's ridiculous. There, now he looks all fearsome again. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, and overall, really just do dig the aesthetic, and I love that all those like armor pieces sort of form the spine along his back. And he is our, resident evil purple dinosaur, the anti-Barney. So, but yeah, very neat. And we'll do a couple comparisons here, if I can get him to stand properly. He's a little back heavy. Come on. Okay, you've done this before. There we go. Alright, so here he is with Dead Prowl for a deluxe comparison. And here he is with the Robot Toys Beast Wars Megatron. So you can see how he stacks up with another third-party Megatron again. And here he is next to the Masterpiece Megatron. Just so you get an idea of how he stacks up with the very high-end official. So there's that. But yeah, overall, a very neat figure. I got mine from Show's Eve a little while back for, I think, about $50, which I think is fair for this. I mean, it's a little pricey, but I think it's fair. He is very sturdy, well designed, very neat aesthetics. Again, I really can't get over just how awesome he looks, you know, until you take his helmet off anyway. But excuse me. Yeah, overall, I really do recommend this figure if you can find him for the like around $50 price tag. I know there are going to be a lot of Western third-party sites that are going to charge like 70 plus, and I don't think he's worth that. But yeah, if you can get him for around 50, I think that's a fair price. And yeah, just a very cool piece. I definitely want to get more of their Samurai series, because I know they have some Beast Wars, I know they have a few G1, and I believe they have a Menasor combiner in the works as well. Not sure if I'm going to go for that whole set, but it definitely looks good, so definitely thinking about it. But yeah, I think that's about all there is to say about this review, so I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.